So the S&P 500 hasn't had too much of a great start for the new year, but I want to share this quote from none other than Albert Einstein, which says, "In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity." So over the past couple of weeks, I've been parsing through several financial websites to go ahead and find some opportunities in this market, which seems to be a bit choppy. And I want to highlight this trade idea that is shared for those within the Push and Profit private group back on January 14th, stating that BTC has been a position that I've been adding on the dips and how I've been bullish on Bitcoin, which, by the way, when I'm talking about BTC, I'm talking about the Bitcoin Grayscale ETF. And I mentioned that this is because regulatory clarity looks like it's going to be improving. Now, if you're someone who wants to have exposure to Bitcoin, but you don't want to go through the hassle of actually buying Bitcoin on the crypto markets, you could simply buy ticker symbol BTC, which is the Grayscale Bitcoin Mini ETF, which has exposure to Bitcoin. Now, as you can see, BTC has pushed up since I previously mentioned that idea. And in this video, I want to go ahead and break down why is it that I have this bullish outlook on Bitcoin and BTC. But before we go ahead and proceed, just a friendly reminder to hit that like button, as it really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. And in addition to that, I'm going to be handing out a low calorie treat for my cat Mochi for every single like that I get on this video. And believe me, Mochi does love her treats. Now, looking at Bitcoin, it's recently breached above the 100,000 price mark once again, and there's a reason behind why Bitcoin is starting to climb up. Now, one of the main reasons is simply due to the fact that we had this economic report on Wednesday of the core CPI actually kind of softening. See, the expectations was that it was going to be a reading of 0.3, but we actually got a reading of 0.2. And one of the things I often mention on this channel is that everything is interconnected. And so you want to be kind of taking a look at what's taking place from a geopolitical standpoint, a macro standpoint, and just kind of put everything together, because it's all like one giant puzzle. And one of the interesting things is that after that report from Wednesday of US core inflation reading a bit softer than what was expected, that actually increased the odds that the Federal Reserve is going to be cutting interest rates several times this year, which is of course pretty bullish, because when we have the Federal Reserve slashing rates downwards, well, that actually creates this good environment for risk on assets, which of course Bitcoin is a risk on asset. And that's why we're seeing these beautiful bullish candles take place. But I want to go ahead and break down what the other catalyst is that's actually pushing Bitcoin upwards as well. And that catalyst is the fact that we have Donnie T, president-elect, coming into office in just a few days. And the reason why this is pretty bullish and the crypto market is pretty much foaming at its mouth is because the incoming presidential team is looking to discuss the best approach to regulating digital assets. Now, why does this turn out to be pretty bullish news for Bitcoin? Well, here's one thing that we have to kind of consider. See, under the Biden administration, banks were told by regulators at the FDIC to not work with cryptocurrency companies. And so that's kind of stifled a lot of investment to, really be funneled into a lot of these cryptocurrencies. And of course, that doesn't bode well for the cryptocurrency market. However, with the idea of Donnie T coming into the picture and kind of reducing the regulatory hurdles for cryptocurrencies, well, that means that we could potentially see a lot more investment from large financial institutions start to pour into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And of course, that's really good news. However, I want to go ahead and touch on something that may be kind of lingering on some of the viewers' minds who've watched my previous videos. And that is the fact that I've mentioned a lot of times, and I know this is a part where a lot of people will not like to hear, maybe you'll click off, but I am not really a big fan of cryptocurrency. I don't believe that cryptocurrency has any intrinsic value. However, you may be asking, well, if that's your belief for Bitcoin, why are you buying into a Bitcoin ETF that has exposure to Bitcoin? And the simple answer to that is momentum. As someone who's analyzing the markets, of course, I'm going to go ahead and look for opportunities where momentum is present. And if I believe that a value of a certain asset or company is pretty low, but there's going to be a lot of capital flowing into it due to this momentum of regulatory hurdles being softened and also just economic reports. Well, why wouldn't I want to go ahead and buy in while other capital is flowing in to take advantage of the momentum? I mean, at the end of the day, that's why we're participating in the markets, to look for opportunities. And again, the S&P 500 hasn't really done well. And again, it's the beginning of the week, or the beginning of the new year, right? It's the second week of the new year, but it hasn't been performing very well. And that's why I've been looking for other opportunities. And I believe that right now, as the time presents, looks like it may bode well for an opportunity to buy into Bitcoin. Now, of course, this is not financial advice. You should only trade or invest in whatever you see value in. But of course, one of the things that I'm looking into is the value or the price of Bitcoin to continue pushing upwards. Now, real quick, if you're interested in getting more market updates from me and seeing what trade ideas I'm sharing, make sure to check out the links in the description below, because I currently have a coupon code to join the Push and Profit private group for just $6 for the first 2 months. And I'll also pin it down in the comment section down below so that you don't miss out. But with that said, before you guys go, make sure to watch this next video right over here, and I'll see you guys on that next video. Take care, guys.